this happen. And guys, it's the season opener, but you don't want to be so excited that you hurt your teammates. Mark Crabtree, the head coach for the Dublin Coffman Shamrocks, is going to have to settle his boys down so they keep their emotions in check for this game at Ohio Stadium.
They certainly showed some excitement coming out there. That the poor guy getting the game hasn't even started. He's already all beat up.
Well, Dublin Coffman will receive the opening kickoff from the Olentangy Liberty Patriots. The Patriots are in white. Dublin Coffman in the black uniforms today. Taylor Hudson will kick off. He is number 12 for Olentangy Liberty. Back deep, Connor Veers and Sean Jones. You touched on Sean Jones a little bit, guys, just moments ago. We'll be keeping an eye on him today. A talented running back and also a good return man for the Rocks. Last year, these two teams met. Dublin Coffman won the game 10-7 on a game-winning field goal in the final minute of the game. So we'll see how this one turns out today here at the Horseshoe. The ball is teed up, and the high school football season is underway for these two conference rivals. And it will be Jones to return. Out across the 30. Down at the 34-yard line, a 25-yard return for Sean Jones. And we'll get our first look at Cole Stout, hoping to one day become the 6th Division I quarterback to come out of this school since 2001.
Certainly some lineage there for him to follow, but he has all the tools. This is only his second year as a starter. His upside is great. You consider who his dad is and his own physical tools.
First down and 10. First play for the Shamrocks. It's Stout wanting to throw, and he's going to hit Connor Veers. And he's got enough for a first down. Ball comes loose. And we'll see if Dublin Coffman was able to recover. And they did. It's a 12-yard pickup. The starting lineups are rolling across the top of your screen for both teams.
A couple of things to keep an eye on early in this ball game is Dublin Coffman is going to run one of the more sophisticated spread offenses that you're going to see in all of college football. We're going to see if Liberty can get some pressure on them defensively with a 3-3-5 defense, which applies a lot of pressure to an offensive line.
On first down, trying to bounce to the outside. It is Sean Jones. And he is going to get across midfield for a pickup of 8 yards before he is met and brought out of bounds by Jimmy Ciccarella.
We talked about it in the open. Sean Jones, he's big enough to run inside. They're going to ask him to do that offensively, but you're also going to see him bounce. And you can see his speed bouncing that to the outside, setting up the second and short for Dublin.
Throwing is Stout. Has a receiver, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. And it's enough for a first down. Colton Caldwell, the tight end, also the backup quarterback, gains 12. And Dublin Coffman is moving the ball effectively here on the opening series.
Yep, they are. If you look at their play selection, they're doing a nice job of mixing up the run and the pass. And that's what head coach Mark Crabtree told us yesterday. They want to be balanced, and they're having success with that early.
First down and 10. Stout, hands off, Jones. Straight ahead over the left side, met by Shea Baker. He's going to pick up 3. Jones is a one-star back according to ESPN Scout Sync, but you know, with his entire senior season ahead, Craig, he could make that go up.
I think this is a big game for him because of the national stages on, but also his senior year. He definitely has talent. I mean, he ran for over 1,000 yards last year. And what really impressed me was a 6.2 per carry average. That means that he is consistently gaining yardage as a running back and putting him in good situations.
Second and 6. Stout out of the gun, and this is going to be blown dead as penalty flags come in.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Some jitters here early on, of course.
Yeah,
and
we saw that yesterday. It was early in the season like this. You're going to get some false start penalties. Things are a little sloppy offensively, but that quickly gets worked out. You got to understand this is a very intense game for both these teams. Getting the opportunity to play in the shoe is a big deal for a high school player.
Schulte, his dad played at Tennessee. 2nd and 11. Stout has time. Now being flushed out, and his pocket collapses as he's brought down at the 47-yard line by Adam Gazelle and A.J. Dobson. They combine on the sack, a loss of 8.
That was a nice job by the secondary because Stout certainly had time to get that ball off, but he couldn't find an open receiver.
Yeah, Stout had all day to throw the football. It was good coverage downfield by the secondary. Coverage breaks down, and then you're going to see number 48, Hudson, come in, as well as A.J. Dobson. That was just good closing speed by the defense, bringing the quarterback Stout down for a big loss.
Stout trying to get some of that back, hits Joe Phelan. It's going to be a nice pickup, but barely gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 8. Jimmy Ciccarella in on the tackle as Olentangy Liberty's defense, under the tutelage of Rob Griffiths, has forced the Shamrocks to punt here with 9:06 to go in the opening quarter. Jimmy Ciccarella standing at his own 10-yard line. John Worm has a very strong leg. He's the returning punter for the Shamrocks. This is going to bounce at the 12. And we're going to see Olentangy Liberty's offense for the first time. 1st down and 10 at the 13 when we come back. A couple of conference rivals meeting here in Columbus today. Just underway here in Columbus. No score between Olentangy Liberty and Dublin Coffman. We have had some great weather here for the opening weekend of high school football in Columbus. There you see Steve Hale, in his 7th year now at Olentangy Liberty, the only head coach this program has ever known. Coming off an 8-3 season. Zach Michael is the quarterback for Olentangy Liberty. He is in the shotgun as the starters for both teams roll across the top of your screen. On 1st down, Michael looks to throw and connects with Marcus Davis. On 1st down, he is the nephew of Chris Carter. Young, but a lot of upside. And speaking of upside, Zach Michael. Patriots spread offense run by this guy who's a 3-sport athlete. This is the kind of guy that doesn't want high school to end. He's a star in 3 different sports. Big man on campus. And it's 2nd down and 7. Hands off to Jeff Kemper. Dives straight ahead, gets out close to the 20, a pickup of 4 before he's brought down by Tyler Robinson. And the team is going to throw about 50% of the time, guys.
You're going to see him mainly in shotgun, though. But Coach Steve Hale said coming back into this game after last year's game, he wants to run the ball more. He wants to do more counter, a lot of zone, try to confuse those linebackers some.
Michael on 3rd and 3, looking to throw. Good pocket, but now flushed out, looks downfield, man wide open. It's caught by Marcus Davis. His 2nd catch already on this series, a big one for a 29-yard gain. John Worm, the free safety, made maybe a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, it was a great job by Michael buying time. There was good coverage downfield in the secondary. Michael's just buying himself some time. Marcus Davis slips to the 2nd level, and Michael finds him for the big completion.
Now on 1st down, throwing again, and again it's Davis. After the catch, spins his way to the 47-yard line. Robinson again on the tackle, a pickup of 4.
One of the things that the Patriots will do to you is they have a lot of playmakers in Jeff Kemper. Zach Michael is mobile enough to keep the sticks moving, but Marcus Davis, Tyler Black, Josh Myers, they're all playmakers, puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
On 2nd and 6, it's Kemper. And this time, nowhere to go. As Corey Durthaler, the nose guard, comes in to make the tackle. Coach Mark Crabtree told us we're going to call his name a lot. And there's the first time. 3rd down and 6 now. for Olentangy Liberty, which has worked its way into Dublin Coffman territory. Michael getting the call from the sideline. Wanting to throw. Being chased. And a good job to get back to the line of scrimmage and actually pick up 3 yards on that play. Stacy Woodford finally caught up with him, the boundary corner, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's still early in the game, but I've been impressed with Michael's decision making. You know, last year he threw 12 touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. He's doing a good job of keeping his eyes downfield, but not trying to force things. Right there, you saw there was nothing there. He took it for a gain.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 2, and the first tough decision for Steve Hale, and he's going to decide to go for it. And again, Zach Michael checks over at the sideline one more time. And he is going to punt. Michael drops it at the 10-yard line, and a great job. Well, now it's going to be a touchback.
Great call, great punt. The young man, though, he's got to stop.
Yep, the guy couldn't keep it in. That was Tyler Black. So Dublin Coffman, under Cole Stout's leadership, will come back out 1st and 10. 5:48 to go in the opening quarter. Still no score. And Craig, what do you do here if you're the guy on this kicking unit?
Well, what Myers has to do is he has to grab the ball, and you got to stop. You let his momentum take him, and he had plenty of room to stop. I thought it was a great call by Steve Hale because he was out of position in the field, a little too far for field goal, a little bit too close to bring in a punt team, but you're probably going to punt it in the end zone anyway. Bring it out to the 20, make them think you're going to run a play, keep the defense up tight, nobody back deep. It really worked out great. Just Meyer had to keep the ball in bounds.
Here's Sean Jones for Dublin Coffman. Nowhere to run as he gets back to the line of scrimmage and then driven back by the middle linebacker, Shade Baker. When we were talking with head coach Steve Hale, he said that Baker has to play well today. He had 108 tackles last year. He is the leader of that defense. They need him again today.
Yep, the linebacker play for Olentangy is critical with Shea Baker, number 52, but also his buddy in the inside, Matt Casey. That's the heart of that defense. They have to play well for them to be successful today.
On 2nd and 9. Stout deep down the sideline, a little bit too far. The intended receiver was Joe Phelan. Phelan only played in a couple of games last year, but now a starter for Mark Crabtree, and almost got loose on that far sideline.
You'll see right here with Stout, he tries to arm it a little bit too much. Go ahead and step into the throw. He tried to just use too much arm strength, and he lost his accuracy on the throw.
That was his first incompletion. 3rd down and 9. Stout wants to throw again. Does, and almost intercepted. Penalty flag comes in. The intended receiver was Steve Carpenter. Perhaps he was interfered with.
It looks like the defender came in with the hit just a little bit too early.
That's the call.
Yeah, the defender that time just got there just a half step too early. And any time you're coming over the middle like that and you deliver a shot right in front of the official, you're going to get that call every time. Adegazelle just gets there about a half step too early. But that's a big play because it converts what would have probably been an incomplete pass. Now Dublin has a 1st down and moves the chains.
So that'll be 1st and 10 at the 36 for Dublin Coffman. Stout gives it to Jones. Plucked straight ahead for a couple of yards. High school football action continues on ESPNU today as the Orange Lutheran Lancers face the Pickerington Central Tigers. Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series presented by Burger King on the U today. That's coming up at 3:30 Eastern. That'll be the 4th and final game here for us in Columbus, and we've had a great time here at Ohio Stadium on this opening weekend of the high school football season. 2nd down and 8 for the Shamrocks. The handoff again to Jones. Gets by the initial wave and gets close to a first down, a pickup of 7, and that was just sheer speed.
Yeah, that base zone read play out of that package, it's a 2-by-1 set, and we talked about Sean Jones and his ability to get north and south quickly, and you're going to see it right there. Look at the blocking up front, and that's just a one-on-one situation. That's up to the running back. He has got to make that defensive end miss, which he did that time for the big gainer.
So now 3rd and short. It's to Jones again, and this time he is crushed. Oh my, Matt Casey, number 32, the outside linebacker who played a lot as a sophomore, now a leader on defense as a junior.
When you run the type of defense, and you're going to see Matt Casey, this is a 3-3-5 defense, and the best description I've ever heard of a head coach that tells me what the philosophy is, it's 10 guys trying to find a gap, and you saw it right there. Anytime on 3rd and short, you're going to see the Patriots find a gap. They're going to be blitzing the linebackers, and Matt Casey came up with a big stop right there.
John Worm on to punt. Jimmy Ciccarello is going to let it bounce. And it takes a nice Dublin Coffman roll inside the 10. 3:09 to play here in the opening quarter. No score, Coffman and Liberty. Back here at Ohio Stadium, the opening weekend of the high school season, alongside John Berger and Craig Hobbard on Clay Matvick. Olentangy, Liberty, and Dublin Coffman, 2 rivals from the Ohio Capital Conference. They're in different divisions in that conference. Dublin Coffman is in the Central, and Olentangy Liberty is in the Cardinal Conference. And the other teams in this Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series had the longest way to go. Orange Lutheran, who we'll see in our last game, and the team we saw in the first game, St. Thomas Aquinas, the #1 team in the country. 1st down and 10 for Olentangy Liberty. The keeper for the quarterback, Zach Michael, and he's going to get 3 hard yards. Kyle Frazier on the stop. Olentangy Liberty is located in Powell, Ohio, and it's a new school, guys. Founded in 2003, and Steve Hale has been the only coach. He's done a great job.
Yeah, you see that playoffs, 5 to 6 years. That's pretty good for just starting a program.
2nd and 7. Michael takes the low snap, throws off his back foot. The receiver comes back to get it. And gets out across the 15-yard line to the 17. It's a gain of 5 for Josh Myers. Steve Hale, husband and father of 4. In that first year that he was head coach, the team went 1-9.
Yep, he's done a good job there. Now, the school is located in Delaware County, which is one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S., so I think you'll get more consistency out of the number of players he gets coming out for football.
Wide open was Myers coming across the middle. He's got enough for the first down and then some. It's a gain of 6. Tyler Robinson, the strong side linebacker, made the stop.
Did a really nice job of clearing those linebackers out. They made their drops, and then what Olentangy Liberty did is they came underneath, and he was wide open.
Yeah, the receivers just ran off the backers, and Josh Myers just goes uncovered right there. And I think that has a lot to do with their first series, showing Dublin Coffman the screen game, got them back on their heels a little bit. Myers just comes underneath for the big gainer.
Michaels, same thing, other side. This time it's Marcus Davis coming across. And he'll pick up 8. We have seen a lot of Davis so far, guys.
Yeah, Marcus Davis, it's surprising, but I think we know who their playmaker is going to be, not only for this game, but for this season. I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off some of those other wide receivers because Davis is so fast. Eventually, they're probably going to have to double him, which is going to open up opportunities for number 4, Tyler Black, and 5, Josh Myers.
On 2nd and 2, intercepted. Brett Bueller, the weak side linebacker. At the 11-yard line, the quarterback, Zach Michael, had to make the stop. A return of 28 yards after the interception by Bueller.
It looks like Michael didn't see him. It was really a great catch by Brett Bueller. He stuck his hand up, stabbed the ball out of the air. And for this Dublin Coffman defense, that is the playmaker. That is the guy they're looking for to make plays for them.
Brett Bueller just gets some depth. Zach Michael never see. He's trying to get the football over to Will Cheeseman, his big tight end. Never saw Buehler, and Buehler just secures the football, takes it down the left side. Zach Michael, the quarterback, has to make the stop coming all the way over, which basically saves the touchdown. But Michael never saw the linebacker. He was trying to hit number 11, the tight end, and Buehler did a nice job of just stepping into that throwing window.
Great opportunity now for the Shamrocks. Jones on first down. Gets it inside the 10. Baker making the tackle. And the thing about Buehler, guys, not only is he athletic, but he's got great intelligence. He's got Ivy League smarts. He's being recruited by Harvard.
Yeah, he's going to have when the Ivy League schools, they do a good job of coming into Central Ohio, because a lot of times kids that can't get a look from the MAC. What a terrific opportunity. If you've got good grades, it doesn't hurt to go to an Ivy League school, let her for 4 years, and get out of there with a great education. He's going to have a very successful career at the next level, I think.
2nd and 6. Give it back to Jones. Inside the 5, still on his feet. Reaches out, touchdown. What a great second effort by Sean Jones. And he scores from 7 yards out as the Shamrocks are on the board first.
Mark Crabtree, the head coach, he loves the right side of his offensive line. And right there, you just saw Sean Jones. They just basically had great blocking up front there, and Sean Jones takes it in. And what a great momentum change after the turnover. 3 plays later, Dublin capitalizes on that and goes up by 7.
Coming on for the extra point is Kyle Clinton, and they feel he is a Division I caliber kicker. After the interception, 2 plays later, they are in the end zone. And Dublin Coffman draws first blood. The big play by Brett Buehler, the captain of this Dublin Coffman defense.
Brett Buehler, linebacker, just gets some depth, comes up with a great grab, takes it all the way down inside the 10. The quarterback, Michael, has to come over and make the stop. And then 2 plays later, they go to the zone read play over the right side. That's the strength of this offensive line. Number 73, Sam Schulte, in the second effort by Sean Jones. Look at that blocking up front. All Sean Jones has to do is make one player miss, which he does, and then the second effort carries him into the end zone.
Jones now 8 carries, 31 yards and a touchdown, and there is Buehler, who made it all happen. 2 plays later, they're in. Jimmy Ciccarella back deep for Olentangy Liberty on this kick. And it's actually going to be Marcus Davis to bring it back. He gets to the 20. And that's all he'll get. So now we'll see how Zach Michael reacts here, Craig, after giving up that interception that led to a touchdown.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Steve Hale comes out in his first play and lets him throw the ball. Gain some confidence back, maybe a high percentage type completion, something just to kind of shake out the cobwebs from throwing that interception. So he's played well so far early other than that interception. It was a nice job by that linebacker. He just didn't see him, but now he's got to be able to bounce back and help Olentangy Liberty just regain some momentum.
Before that interception, Johnny was 6 for 6 for 55 yards.
Yep, they're having success in that screen game. We saw them run 2 screens on back-to-back consecutive drives. What's going to happen, though, Clay, is eventually Dublin Coughlin's going to recognize that. They're going to jump it early. They got to figure out how to get the ball in between and over the top of the linebackers early there.
Michael pumps, throws it out to the flat, and it's caught by Will Cheeseman, the first time we've talked about him so far in this game, and that might be the last play of the opening quarter. Well, with the exception of the interception, it was a well-played first quarter for Olentangy Liberty, and Dublin Coffman able to take advantage of that one mistake, and that's the difference in the game right now. 2 teams from the Ohio Capital Conference taking the field here at Ohio Stadium and giving a great effort so far. Back at the Horseshoe, the only difference in this game, Craig and John, an interception thrown by Zach Michael that led to a touchdown 2 plays later.
Otherwise, the stats have been pretty even. All comes down to that turnover, which led to points.
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job of capitalizing on that turnover. How many times have you seen it when teams are evenly matched? A turnover 2 plays later changes the entire complexion and momentum of the game.
Olentangy Liberty on offense here. It is Michael getting decleated by John Worm, the free safety. 6'1", 203 pounds, and a senior.
We talked about it last drive play, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Dublin Coffman, after 2 drives, they know what's coming. They understand the screen game. You're going to see him get more aggressive. Michael rolls to his left. John Worm recognizes what's happening here and just comes up and lays leather on Zach Michael. Right now, Dublin just has their ears pinned back, and they're attacking the offense from Olentangy Liberty.
On 3rd and 16, Michael steps out of the pocket. Rolling to his left, he'll make his way to the sideline, well short of where he needed to get for the first down. Stacy Woodford knocked him out, and it's going to bring up a punting situation. So the big play there, John Worm, the free safety, on that play just moments ago, forcing the Patriots to punt.
Dublin Coffman's got all new starters on that defensive line, but they're doing a nice job here in this first game of being able to apply pressure.
Connor Veers and Patrick Moreland back deep on this kick. And Olentangy Liberty wants a timeout. Are you ready for the college football season? Monday and Tuesday afternoon, catch the Coaches Spotlight Special. You're going to get access to coaches' press conferences from across the country. Coaches Spotlight Special presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU and ESPNU HD. It's Monday and Tuesday at 2 Eastern. Here's a look at the top 10 college football. The national champion Florida Gators at the top. Texas, Oklahoma, USC, and Alabama rounding out that top 5. You see the Buckeyes at number 6. Of course, we're at their home stadium this weekend. As a former Buckeye, John, what do you think of their chance this year?
Well, I think it's like it is every year. I mean, I think it's going to be dependent on their ability, to handle up front at the point of attack. I mean, we saw what happened against SC. Skill's never been an issue. We'll see what they can get done against SC.
That's in week 2.
That's going to set the tone.
You bet. That's in 14 days. That one was partially blocked. Bounces at the 40, but what a roll for Olentangy Liberty. Will Cheeseman, a first-year punter, gets quite a break there as his kick was partially blocked. A 39-yard punt with no return. Not too bad of an outcome.
Yeah, Steve Hale's got to be really happy because you call a timeout and you come out from a timeout, you get the punt blocked. That's not an ideal situation or use of a timeout, but they got a good roll out of it.
And actually hit his own guy.
Yeah, Olentangy using those big guys, linemen, as their personal protectors back there. One of those big guys just gave up a little bit too much ground, and Cheeseman kicked the ball right to the skin right off the back of his head.
Cole Stout on first down, throws. Coming back to catch it is Steve Carpenter. And Carpenter pays the price. Shade Baker for a loss of 1. Boy, Baker, no offers yet, but he keeps playing like that. They're going to start coming. Dublin Coffman, beginning of the game, coming out of the tunnel. Even though they trampled some of their guys. Not playing too bad. They have obviously settled down since that tunnel incident. And they've got a 7-0 lead, thanks in part to that interception by Brett Bueller, which led to points. On 2nd and 11, Stout in and out of the hands of Connor Veers. Pass might have been a little too tall from Stout, who throws a pretty hard ball.
Yeah, probably should have been caught, though. Hit him in the hands. Well, I think it's obvious now that Coach Mark Crabtree this week has to work into the practice plan, running out of the tunnel and keeping everybody healthy. That's going to have to come on his agenda.
3rd and 11. If they win, it's not going to matter. Stout. He almost got a first down. Looks like he stopped about a yard short. Adam Gazelle almost needed to be a Gazelle there to catch Stout from behind, but he did, and it forces the Shamrocks to punt.
It's good decision making by Stout. He recognizes that there was great coverage downfield. Didn't have anywhere to go with the football, just touched it. Just came up about half a yard short, but it was a good job not forcing anything early in the ball game.
Yeah, you struggle with the snap, and like you said, smart decision just to take off with it, not take any chances.
Low snap, fielded nicely by John Worm, and he gets another nice roll inside the 20. Boy, the punters are living right, apparently. 37-yard kick. The Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series is presented by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And in part by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. Back at the Ohio State University, 7-0 Dublin Coffman. With 9:29 to go here in the first half. This is the Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series presented by Burger King. And the Patriots of Olentangy Liberty have it 1st and 10. And Michael hands off to Joel Murphy. Backup running back getting his first carry. Bueller, who had that interception earlier, makes the tackle, no gain.
Yep, no gain. And Dublin Coffman, like I said on the previous drive, they're starting to lock on to the offense of the Patriots. They're recognizing that little slip screen. And right now the Patriots are just struggling trying to get any continuity up front.
Michael bobbled the snap, now gets it off. Got it to Kemper. Actually, excuse me, that's Marcus Davis again. And it's a gain of 6, and Davis now 5 catches for 50 yards. And Bueller one more time on the hit. Dublin Coffman Shamrocks defense only allowed 74 points last year, guys. That's a school record. So tight and under defense, a 4-3 with a slightly different look, and it's effective. And now we get a whistle here. And a timeout on the field called by Olentangy Liberty. We're going to take a timeout as well. We step aside with 8:32 to go in the half. Shamrocks of Dublin Coffman leading 7-0 over the Patriots of Olentangy Liberty. More about Dublin Coffman. Founded in 1897. This is an old public school. And some great players have come out of there, including Brady Quinn. He is maybe the most notable former Shamrock, now competing for the starting job with the Cleveland Browns. And they played a game last night that we watched on TV. 8.5 minutes to play. On 3rd and 4, Michael goes down. Kyle Frazier and Brett Bueller. A loss of 1 on the sack.
Came with the blitz, brought both linebackers. They twisted, and they came free.
Dublin Coffman, they've locked on to what Olentangy's trying to do. And number 43, Kyle Frazier, just comes unblocked right there. Zach Michael doesn't have a chance. He's lucky to hold on to the football here. Dublin Coffman's now going to get pretty good field position here for their next drive.
Cheeseman this time gets it over the top of his blockers, and it's Connor Veers on the return. Great field position for the Shamrocks. They'll have it 1st down and 10 at the 49-yard line. 36-yard punt, 6-yard return for Veers. Now we'll see Cole Stout again and the Shamrocks offense, and it's been a little bit out of sync so far, guys.
Yeah, it hasn't looked as crisp, and this is still the first half of the first game of the year, so you expect him to get a little bit more in rhythm. But yeah, Cole Stout, very talented player, but he just really hasn't looked comfortable throwing the ball yet.
He started 10 games as a sophomore last year. That experience gave the coaches confidence to expand the offense a little bit, and I'm sure they're just trying to work some kinks out. Play fake. Stout cocks his arm, fires. It's caught over the middle at the 30-yard line by Clayton Baranek. His first catch today. Big first down, a pickup of 24.
Just as we say that, he comes out, he gets himself set, throws a very nice ball.
They're just trying to work on top of the linebackers, just open things up right there. And Cole Stout just makes a decisive decision, and it was a good route structure by Vranek, just sitting down on top of the linebackers.
This time they go back to the run, bouncing it to the outside is Sean Jones, still on his feet, has the first down and then some. Jake McGarry, the safety, finally got to him, but it's a gain of 14 as they move the chains.
You kind of get the feeling right now that the offensive line for Dublin Coffman is just starting to lean on Olentangy a little bit, and that is their strength up front at the point of attack for Dublin. Chad Doan, number 79, and number 73, Sam Schulte. Those are the guys up front, and they're starting to assert themselves in this ball game.
This time to the left side. Jones to the 5. A gain of 7. And with under 7 minutes to go, the Shamrocks knocking on the door.
Yeah, the Shamrocks have put the Patriots back on their heels defensively. They have nice play selection on this drive, both running and throwing the football. They've spread out the Patriots, and right now they just got them back on their heels. They're guessing what's coming next. And on top of that, their offensive line, Dublin, is starting to lean on the smaller Patriot line and just blowing open holes for the running back, Sean Jones.
Already got 10 carries and a touchdown. 2nd and 2 from the 4. And flags come down.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Back it up to the 9 as Mark Crabtree, also the offensive coordinator, shakes his head.
You know, you get close to the end zone, naturally you don't want to be moving backwards, and mental errors like that is something that, you know, drives coaches crazy.
But you got to expect a certain number of those in the opening game.
When you're in the red zone, you want everything to run crisp. You don't want no excuses.
That's a former coach talking there. 2nd and 7 from the 9. Stout, play fake, throws to the end zone, wide open, touchdown. But a penalty flag is down. It's Colton Caldwell with the catch. We'll see if this stands up. It will not. So wipe out the 9-yard touchdown reception by the tight end, as that is the 3rd penalty now against Dublin Coffman.
Coach Crabtree, you can't be happy. You're going in the wrong direction. You put together a nice drive to get down inside the 10, and now because of penalties, you're moving backwards.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And even worse, guys, you take points off the board.
Yeah, taking points off the board is the killer. 2nd consecutive penalty inside the red zone, and that'll just drive you crazy. The first one was avoidable. I didn't really see the motion penalty. I'm sure the official made the right call, but you don't want to make silly mental errors backing it up 5 yards in the red zone in a ball game where you're up only 7 points.
Now 2nd and 12. 2 receivers to the right. Caldwell gives to Jones. He's hit and brought down by Adam Gazelle, whose name we have called a lot here in the first half. It's a gain of 2.
He's been very active in this first half, really turning into a key player. Wasn't somebody that they were anticipating being a starter in this game.
Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 10. As we're under 6 minutes to play here in the opening half. Pretty good contest here. Coffman leading 7-0. The difference in the game, an interception that led to points. Coffman 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversion attempts. Attempted here. Stout has plenty of time. Looking. Finds Jones. And he leads to the end zone. Did he get in? No signal yet. They're going to mark him down at the 1, but that's the second time today we have seen a great second effort from Sean Jones.
Yeah, what they did is they went a 3-by-2 set, and they split out Jones. They wanted to get him matched up against the linebacker. What they did, second effort, gets the football all the way down inside the 1, about the half-foot line. But what effort by Sean Jones trying to stretch out and get the football there. It was a good play design because they got what they wanted there, and Sean Jones stretches out with that second effort. It appeared he got in, but they're going to mark him just short.
Let's give those big guys up front some love. That was a wonderful protection. Stout sat in a clean pocket, had all day to throw that ball.
So now goal to go from the 1. And we're going to get a timeout called by Mark Crabtree. We'll take a timeout as well. 4:52 to go in the half. Dublin Coffman on the doorstep. Dublin Coffman poised to go up by 2 touchdowns. Let's take a look at today's LifeLock's identity of a champion. Dublin Coffman, All-State quarterback, won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and the Maxwell Award, and 22nd overall in the 2007 NFL Draft. Who am I? We'll find out momentarily. They are right on that half-yard line. This drive started at the Olentangy 48, and it appears that they're going to take advantage of the short field for the second time today. Stout's going to keep it himself. No signal yet. Yes, there it is. Touchdown. Cole Stout. Dublin Coffman leads by a couple of scores.
That offensive line, which has been doing a nice job in this whole drive, got the push right there, and Cole Stout was able just to follow him right behind into the end zone.
He's got a 6'3" frame too, John, and that comes in handy in a situation like this.
Yeah, at the half-yard line, why put the football in the hands of a running back and risk that exchange? They just fall in the end zone from a half-yard out. Now they're going to go, looks like a little swinging gate there, Clay.
Well, it's Kyle Clinton who's on for the extra point, and now the linemen move over. This is an excellent special teams unit. Out of the hold of Stephen Carpenter, Clinton's kick is good. All seniors on special teams for Dublin Coffman. There's Cole Stout. He gets it in from a yard out. Drive started at the 48.
Yeah, it really did. And Dublin Coffman loosened up the defense. They come back over the middle in front of the safeties with the big pass play. And then Cole Stout follows that up. Gets a short pass over the middle to Sean Jones, working one-on-one against a linebacker. He extends the football, comes up just a half a yard short, and then the following play, Cole Stout, just a quarterback sneak, capitalizes, sticks it in the end zone. Big play. Right now, all the momentum on the side of the Shamrocks for Dublin Coffman. They're playing well right now, and they have a lot of confidence. You can tell that, Clay, by their body language on the sideline and on the playing field. I see 2 different teams on the field right now. I see Coffman in the green jerseys, of the black jerseys. They appear to be very confident, a little bit of swagger, and right now the Patriots are just back on their heels a little bit.
Profile of Cole Stout. Look at that GPA. Also a good student. Father played at Youngstown State, went on to the NFL and the USFL, and Cole's dad was a backup to Terry Bradshaw in Pittsburgh. ESPN Rise speaks to the high school athlete through aspiration, improvement, and recognition. Log on to ESPNRise.com. Olentangy Liberty having trouble getting to the football. One of the up men had to dive on it at the last moment. That was live at the 22. And this is one of those early season mistakes you so often see.
Yeah, you don't often coach special teams, especially on your kick return unit. Sometimes it locks a kid up on those short kickoffs, and they think they can just let the football bounce, and then it creates a scrum. Olentangy Liberty is very lucky to come up with that football right there.
Yeah, you know, Dublin Coffman just did a pooch kick, got it up high, let their coverage unit come down underneath, and it almost worked out for him.
From the 22, on first down, Michael connects, and he hits Josh Myers. Bueller again on the tackle. It's a short gain of 1 yard. A lot of pressure on both sides seen some good defense today, guys.
Yeah, we have. And you know, John Worm comes up from the safety position. You better have a lot of courage coming across the middle with 15 John Worm and number 49 Bueller. Very active defensive football players.
Stepping out of the tackle is Jeff Kemper, but then the second wave gets him. It's John Worm leading the charge. No gain. So third down and long coming up.
Yeah, Worm and Bueller, they are extremely active defenders for this Dublin Coffman defense, and they're getting a lot of help by that front line, but those two guys seem to have a great nose for the football.
Coffman right now doesn't respect the pass game. They're not afraid of it. They're going to come up, they're going to apply pressure, and they're going to force the Patriots to go up over the top, and until they prove that they can do that, they're going to be struggling with the pressure that Coffman's applying to them up front.
Michael under pressure again. Look out, there comes Bueller. And he has to throw it away. Penalty flag comes in.
Worm came off the edge without any resistance.
Right.
All the tackles he's made, you think you might want to block him, huh?
Legal man downfield, and there's Steve Hale, also the offensive coordinator. A little miffed right now the way things are going offensively.
And it's playing a slow developing play, and that's exactly what this is. They're going to try to go backside with the screen, and Worm recognizes that from the safety position. That play is over right then.
So Connor Veers and Moreland go back on this return unit for Dublin Coffman. Already the fourth punt today for Liberty. Cheeseman gets it over the top of his blockers. And fair catch called for at the 45. Some of the Dublin fans want a penalty, but no flags. A 32-yard kick. High school football action continues on ESPNU today as the Orange Lutheran Lancers face the Pickerington Central Tigers. Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series presented by Burger King on ESPNU today. That's coming up at 3:30. That's our final game here from Ohio Stadium this weekend. And it'll be fun to see the West Coast style. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen the Florida game when we saw Aquinas yesterday, but looking forward to seeing Orange Lutheran, the Lancers. Stout on first down. Boy, he has gotten a lot sharper since that first quarter. He connects with Clayton Varanek for the second time today, a gain of 8.
Yeah, Stout's throwing the football, being a lot more decisive with his decision making. Dublin Coffman up by 14, all their timeouts left. Don't be surprised for them to take a shot downfield, trying to get a big play here with all the momentum on their side.
Second down and 1. Play fake to Jones, off his back foot, throws to an empty wing, nobody there. And Stout will have a 3rd and 1 situation here.
Very nice draw. I mean, you see how he...
3rd down and 1. Stout's going to keep it himself. He's got plenty of room. He's got the first down and more, still on his feet as he stumbles inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. A gain of 18 for the junior quarterback.
It was good execution up front by Jay Howard and Chris Vann and Cole Stout. Little zone read package. They recognize there's a breakdown on that side. What a huge gainer for Dublin. There's plenty of time left at 2:28 going in up by 14.
From the 28, it's Jones again. Big hole up the middle. Now to the outside. It's a race to the corner. Jones for a touchdown. His second today. This one from 28 yards out.
Showed good acceleration once he got to the perimeter there because the defender had a pretty good angle on him.
Second touchdown for Jones. He's got 84 yards rushing. Clinton on again for the extra point. And it's 21-0. This was good running, John.
No, it really was. Great blocking up front. Not a great deal of imagination. This is just base play execution. It was great blocking up front by 79 Doan and Schulte, and Sean Jones just weaves his way through the defense. Very patient, sets up his blocks. It was great blocking at the point of attack. He only has to beat one player. He stiffs arm and comes to the right side. Then you can see his speed and acceleration. Like I said, guys, there's not a great deal of imagination in that play. That's a base play for them. They're just executing it well.
School started on Tuesday at Dublin Coffman, and the guys said that they were everything anybody could talk about during this first week of school. Getting ready for this game at Ohio Stadium, and Coffman has come out and played exceptional football here in the first half.
Yeah, they really have, and it's interesting, and I don't know what your read on it, guys, was, but when I sat down with Mark Crabtree and talked to him on the phone, you just sensed a quiet sort of intensity there to get this game started.
Marcus Davis on the return for Olentangy Liberty. He falls ahead to the 26-yard line. Let's hear what the guys from Dublin Coffman had to say about playing here at Ohio Stadium.
Let alone play in Ohio State Horseshoe, not even in college. It's an even bigger deal.
My best memory would have to be going to the Ohio State-Michigan game in 2006 with Troy Smith when he won the Heisman Trophy.
You know, it's a dream to play here, I think, for just about every kid in Ohio. And to, you know, be on that field in a competitive environment, as our coaching staff's talked about, this is going to be something we remember for a long, long time.
Big deal for both teams, actually, because they're so close to this stadium and to this college program. They grow up Buckeye fans and get a chance to play on the field where their heroes have played.
Yep.
What a thrill.
Great opportunity for both schools, and it's, you know, it's remarkable, Ohio high school football, that, you know, that Kirk and his dad Jim have been able to put this series together and bring it to Columbus and give kids the opportunity to come in a venue like this and play each other. It's not an easy thing to put together, and I just commend them for the job that they've done in putting this series together. And I'm sure that the coaches and the players, the fans of each of these schools would say the same thing. It's just a terrific opportunity for kids to get an experience they wouldn't normally get access to.
So, Craig, since you grew up in New York, this would have been like, you know, playing at Giant Stadium or what?
Playing at Rutgers. No.
Do they have college sports in
no
New York?
disrespect to Rutgers. It's a beautiful stadium facilities, but even as a New Yorker, this is awesome. Just even being here calling this game.
Michael on first down, a little play fake, and then the handoff. Jeff Kemper didn't fool anybody as Corey Durthaler, the nose guard, comes in for a loss of 4. And this Olentangy Liberty offense has not had a lot of success. A punt, an interception, and 3 more punts.
They need to get something going here because they've really been putting their defense in some tough situations.
Quick hitter to Josh Myers on the right side. And he gets to the 30. That'll be a gain of 9. Tyler Robinson, the strong side linebacker, made the tackle. And now a 3rd and 6. Not ideal.
No, not ideal down and distance. Again, they've got to figure out a run game. Dublin Coffman has their ears pinned back and applying a lot of pressure. They got to put them back on their heels a bit.
Big wave again. Tyler Robinson chasing Michael. All he can do is throw it away. Boy, the pressure from the Shamrocks, especially from that linebacking core, Craig.
Yeah, they've been really active. You know, they want those defenders up front to get. We talked about it earlier. They're all new starters, so they're really depending on these linebackers. They're doing a nice job up front, getting some initial push and allowing those linebackers to flow. And once they get into the backfield, and you also got to throw into the mix at 15, John Worm. The pressure, they're not giving Zach Michael a chance to get set, make some plays.
Saw how Michael started the game. Well, since going 6 for 6, pressure's been getting to him. Low kick. Fielded by Patrick Moreland. He's across the 40, down at the 43. So the Dublin Coffman Shamrocks already up by 3 touchdowns. Get it back with a minute to go here in the first half. Plenty of time on the clock for them to tack on another score.
Well, they also have 2 timeouts at their disposal, so the clock is really not an issue right now. They can kind of still stay pretty open in their playbook.
Yep, great field position. Plenty of timeouts, plenty of time, and they've got playmakers. We still haven't seen them take a big shot downfield. Now would be a great time. You're up by 21, all the momentum on your side, good field position and confidence. Go ahead and take a shot down the field.
With 4 receivers, Stout hits Connor Lucas. His first catch today, and he's got a first down. Inside the 45 to the 42, a gain of 15 yards. And Connor Lucas, a junior receiver. Now a 5 receiver look. Stout. Well, that one almost was picked off. Baranek, the intended receiver. But Jake McGarry, the Rebel safety over there, almost got a handout. So 2nd and 10. Tom Turner, the offensive line coach. 15 years with Mark Crabtree, also involved in the play calling, kind of a co-offensive coordinator. Boy, they've done a great job here in the first half. 2nd and 10. Stout wants it all, goes over the middle, and it's Baranek to the 23, a gain of 19. Boy, that sophomore is having a great first half.
Yeah, and Liberty's got to bring a little bit of pressure because Cole Stout is allowed to just sit back there and find an open receiver. They're trying to come with only 3 men, John, and they're not getting any pressure on him.
Yep, 3-step drop, getting the football out. It's hard to get there.
That pass by Stout, intended for number 3, E.J. Williams. Batted around, almost could have been picked off there. But with 29 seconds to go, it'll bring up 2nd and 10. 29
seconds, you got plenty of time. And Craig brought up a good point about the Patriots having to get some pressure, but Stout standing back there, he's getting rid of the football in 1.8 seconds in 5 receiver sets. They're just putting a lot of pressure right now on that defense.
Stout over the middle. Colton Caldwell, the tight end. And he lunges inside the 10, first down, gain of 14.
The Shamrocks are getting, there's going to be a flag down, but the Shamrocks are getting the one-on-one matchups that they want. Right there, Caldwell, one-on-one matchup against a linebacker, and he's going to win that every time.
On the tackle for the Patriots, number 32, Matt Casey.
They started to move the chains, then officials said, hold on, we got a penalty flag here. See who this is on.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Black. 15-yard penalty.
That is a huge penalty here against Colton Caldwell. There it is.
They always say you only see the second guy, right?
Now it takes Dublin Coffman likely out of field goal range. Stout. He'll take it himself. A lot of room to the 10, the 5. Nice move to the corner, and he is going to be out at approximately the 1-yard line. Jimmy Ciccarella kept him out of the end zone. It's a gain of 24.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that play, and Cole Stout recognizes that the Patriots just vacate that area in number 7. Stephen Carpenter, his wide receiver, did a good job of running the defensive back out of there, recognizing that Stout's going to run, and Stout takes it all the way down inside the 5 at the 2, going in. What an excellent execution by them on the offensive side of the ball. That was a huge play after that penalty.
Mark Crabtree calls a timeout with 8 seconds to go here in the half. And we have seen Cole Stout settle down, Craig, from the first half to the second half. Or first quarter, second quarter, excuse me.
You see, in the first quarter, he doesn't look as easy. His feet are kind of jumpy. He's not stepping into the throws. You see right there, see how much smoother that motion is in the second quarter. He's stepping into his pass, really following through with the ball. He looks a lot more comfortable in the second half, and the production shows. He's not jumpy. He's sitting back. He's getting set. He's seeing the field very well, and he's quickly getting rid of the ball. He's really kind of gotten into a rhythm here as those first few series kind of went along.
Stout threw for just under 1,100 yards last year. Already has 120 yards today.
But, you know, and Clay, I think looking big picture, he's only a junior. I think this is a young man who already has a verbal offer from Cincinnati. I think he's going to really see that offer list grow through the junior year because he's got great intangibles. He's got nice size, and he's really showing the ability to get the ball and has the mechanics to be able to get rid of it and move with offense downfield.
A quick pitch. Jones, touchdown. Third touchdown today for Sean Jones. And with 5 seconds to go in the half, Dublin Coffman has blown this one wide open.
Yeah, and they've done it up front at the point of attack. Great blocking up front by Jay Howard and Chris Fannin all day long. Chad Doan, number 79, is just playing very well at the point of attack, and they're just dominating up front.
Sean Jones, we said it before, a one-star back, grades out at a 66 by ESPN Scout Sync. What exactly does that mean in your grading system?
Well, obviously, you're looking at Sean. He's got a lot of ability. He's not a very big back. He's only about 5'9", 177 pounds. I think the most intriguing thing about him at a prospect, if you're looking at the FBS level, a possible BCS school, is he's a pretty complete back. You know, you'll see him split out as a wide receiver. He runs the ball well. But when you're talking about getting to that level, you're talking about elite speed, backs being able to break away. I think that he could be a change of pace guy possibly at the next level. But maybe as an FCS guy, former Division I AA, I think he's got starting type ability.
All right, John, another impressive drive.
Yep, back-to-back impressive drives. And you can see Cole Stout at the quarterback position just settling in. And this drive started with a little slip screen, gets it to Connor Lucas. He cuts back inside for the big gainer, and then Stout recognizes it's the second drive in a row. He ran the football for a huge first down. He almost got it in the end zone. Then they go just a little option route for the touchdown. That's 3 consecutive plays, and that was a huge drive. You can just tell the confidence with which they're playing, and they're just dominating up front at the point of attack. That's great execution by this offense.
And their offense has been well balanced, I might add. 128 yards rushing, 120 passing. So for the opening game of the year, things pretty buttoned up, even though it didn't start that way.
For an offense this sophisticated, where you're zipping the ball around 4 and 5 receiver sets plus an option game, it's been a remarkably clean game for your first game of the season.
This is going to get into the end zone for a touchback. Now, Dublin Coffman come out of the gate very strong, but boy, they look good here in the second quarter. Are you ready for the college football season? Monday and Tuesday afternoon, catch the Coaches Spotlight Special. You're going to get access to coaches' press conferences from across the country. Coaches Spotlight Special presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU HD Monday and Tuesday at 2 Eastern. Any early predictions, guys, on the college season? You're going to wait until week 4 and then look like an expert.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's Michael. He'll hand off. And Jeff Kemper, the starting tailback, works his way ahead for a few. Liberty didn't run the ball well last year against Dublin Coffman, and they felt that they needed to do that today. But boy, they have had trouble not only with running but also passing. It's been a pretty dominating show after one half.
Yeah, they dominated up front. Sean Jones is the benefactor of that. 13 rushes, picked up close to 100 yards already in the first half. And I think, Craig, to your point earlier, the confidence in the body language on Dublin Coffman is just a different deal. They're playing very well up front right now, and you can just tell by their confidence level and their body language.
Yeah, Olentangy, Liberty, they need to go in the locker room. They need to figure out how on offense, and we've talked about it, John, maybe attacking more vertically, because they need to start moving the chains and helping their defense out. They put them on a short field several times. They're giving Dublin Coffman ideal type situations. And Clay, Dublin Coffman, maybe besides some foolish penalties and not running out of the tunnel very well, they've really been very sharp in the first half.
We're not going to let them forget that. 248 yards of total offense for the Shamrocks. So since the tunnel, things have been pretty good for the Rocks. 28-0 at the half. We'll be back in just a bit here at the Horseshoe.
Jacked up a little bit more.
Kyle Clinton to kick off. Good return across the 30-yard line. That is Tyler Black. So decent field position for Olentangy Liberty as they start at the 34-yard line. Black with a 25-yard return. And now we'll see what the Patriots do on their first series of the second half. Zach Michael had decent numbers in the first half. That interception was unfortunate. The running game just wasn't there. First and 10. And that is going to be incomplete. Kyle Frazier, the middle linebacker, with a great hit. And he'll break that up as Cheeseman was the intended receiver.
Dublin Coffman's letting them have that all day underneath, and they're going to let those linebackers come up and smack them.
This is the best starting field position today for Olentangy Liberty, and a quick timeout called here by Dublin Coffman.
They only had 10 players on the field. There was some confusion back in the secondary, and they got the timeout. They were lucky there to get that timeout because they were one player down.
Don't forget about that ESPN U150 rolling across the top of your screen. Now, those are the top 150 players in high school football senior class in the country, according to ESPN Scouts Inc., which Craig Hobart is a part of. And also the top 5 players at each position will be coming across the top of your screen. Quarterbacks down a little bit too this year, Craig?
At the top level, yeah. You know, Phil Simms, Alabama, commits the #1 rated quarterback in the country, but there isn't yet presented itself a Matt Barkley type guy who could be #1 overall.
Second and 10. Stout tracked down by Kyle Frazier. A big loss as the guy that didn't miss a game last year and plugs a lot of holes gets into the backfield and drops Michael.
Kyle Frazier, the linebacker, his buddy Brett Bueller, and Tyler Robinson, they're all senior linebackers. They just have their ears pinned back. Coming after that Patriot offense, they've seen everything the Patriots have thrown at them. They recognize that because they're veterans, they're not afraid of getting beat deep, and you can see that the aggression that they're playing with up front.
Boy, it's going to be a long second half for Michael. If that offensive line can't keep guys like Max Phelps and Kyle Frazier out of the backfield, it's a loss of 8 after a loss of 6 on the previous play.
Yeah, right now the offensive line for the Patriots, they're a bit confused. Watch Dublin, they're moving around. They have no respect for the run game. They have no respect for the pass game. They're just going to bring pressure every time, and you saw it from right there. They're coming from every angle, and they're overwhelming the offensive line for the Patriots.
Patrick Moreland changes field, and he's got a lot of room on that left side. Has a couple of blockers in front of him and then stumbles at the 22. What a return for Patrick Moreland, the junior return man for the Shamrocks. The kicker actually had to come over and make the hit. 35-yard punt, 33-yard return for Moreland.
Yeah, he's coming up the right side, and you'll see him. You know, there's nobody on to his left, and he reverses field. He's got a nice, you can't see right on the screen, a nice little wall set up, and then the punter sticks his nose in there and is able to slow him down and get the tackle. But nice job kind of reading the blocks and finding the open side of the field.
Now Cole Stout and the Shamrocks come back out with that starting offensive unit. Stout 164 yards of total offense in the first half. He's out of the gun as usual. Hands off to Jones, who had 85 rushing yards in that first half and 3 touchdowns. Gazelle on the stop after a 2-yard gain.
Gazelle, have we heard his name before?
He wasn't even listed as the starter at outside linebacker today.
But he's been very active.
He's been playing a lot, yeah. Second and 8. Stout, little play fake on the end around. Throws, has a man, it's Jones, touchdown, number 4. The hat trick +1.
We've talked about his ability, how head coach Mark Crabtree liked his versatility, not only as a runner, but a receiver coming out of the backfield. We saw his hands right there, very nice grab, showed good concentration because there was a defender right there.
Yeah, and he's going to go to a secondary receiver. He's trying to get to his tight end. He was his primary route structure right there, and he was covered. He comes back across the grain and finds Sean Jones, and that's Craig, you can tell a veteran quarterback when he goes through his reads, goes through his progression, finds his secondary target in Jones for the big score.
And Clinton's extra point is good. Dublin Coffman picking up where they left off from the first half. Jones 3 rushing touchdowns now, and he adds that receiving.
Another big special teams play. The punt return just sets up a drive. Patrick Moreland fields it on the right side, winds his way back across the field, gets a couple of blocks downfield. The kicker actually makes the tackle, but then look at Cole Stout, goes through his first read. That guy's covered, comes back to the left side, finds Sean Jones as running back for the big score. Right now, Coffman's just having their way with the Patriots.
Jones has 117 yards of total offense now. Big game for Stout and the Rocks. All smiles on that Coffman sideline as the Rocks are rocking. With 9:49 to go here in the third quarter, it's 35-0. The offense has benefited from great defensive play by Dublin Coffman. A lot of game left, however, and Olentangy Liberty has some weapons of their own. And another return for Tyler Black. And he's out to the 24-yard line. Zach Michael, the quarterback, there he is, number 15. He is not only a pretty good football player, but baseball might be his best sport. Akron, Toledo, Cleveland State among the schools that are after him to play shortstop. And he's also the point guard on the basketball team. On first down at 10, he hands off. And Aaron Rodriguez makes the stop on Kemper. Don't forget, coming up at 3:30 today on ESPNU, Game 4 for Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series presented by Burger King. Orange Lutheran out of California taking on Pickerington Central from right here in the Columbus area. It's coming up at 3:30 Eastern on the U. 2nd and 10 for Michael and the Patriots. Wants to throw. Marcus Davis hit immediately by Brett Bueller, and you can hear that crack way up here. A loss of 2.
Clay, when you don't have a running game, you have to go to a short passing game. And right now, Dublin Coffman, they get that, they understand that, and they're just teeing off on the wide receivers from the Patriots. The only way you can stop pressure when a defense is coming every time is play action, misdirection, or a quick hitter right up the gut going north and south.
3rd and 12. Michael gets away, gets it off to Davis. Nice move at the 30. And staying on his feet, trying to get to the first down marker, but Patrick Moreland wrapped him up. It's going to be a gain of 11, but short of the first down. What do you think he decides to do here? If you're Steve Hale, what's the call?
Well, if you're Steve Hale, you're down by 35. I mean, you definitely want to go for it here and try to get some sort of momentum built.
And that's what they're going to do. Quick hitter. And it's going to be enough for the first down as Michael hits Josh Myers. As Olentangy Liberty has gone to the hurry up there as they're able to move the chains for the first time here in the half. Michael. Again hits Davis. And he gets hit at the 40-yard line. 4-yard pickup for Davis. That's already his 8th catch. He has 64 receiving yards. Quickly get up to the line again. 2nd down and 6. Michael finds Josh Myers, and he's close to another 1st down, and maybe the Patriots have settled on something that they can do well.
Yeah, that little screen, that stand-up throw it right out to the right, that's just a version of the running game. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They've gone to a hurry-up offense, trying to put Dublin back on their heels and just get a little bit of positive yards here to get the pressure removed from them up front.
3rd and 1. Pressure again. It's Kyle Frazier, and he dumps him for a huge loss at the 32-yard line. A loss of 15.
Got a little bit of momentum going there, Olentangy Liberty, and then off the edge comes Frazier, drops for a big loss.
Yeah, Frazier, they're just putting 7, maybe 8 guys up in the box each play, depending on the down and distance, and Frazier just comes off the right side completely unblocked, picking up the big sack, forcing another punt for the Patriots, and the Shamrocks are going to get good field position once again.
This is Connor Veers. Starts his return from the 26. Heads to the far side. Finds room along that sideline. What a block thrown in front of Connor Veers, still on his feet. And finally knocked down at the 44-yard line of Olentangy Liberty. There is a man down for the Patriots. And Jimmy Happ threw quite a hit. We have actually got 2 Olentangy Liberty Patriots down. Back in a moment. There's Jimmy Happ for Dublin Coffman. He threw a huge hit. Good news is both Olentangy Liberty Patriots that were down came up off the field on their own power. Here's a look at that punt return.
Yeah, Connor Veers is going to field the punt, and then watch number 2, Jimmy Happ, right there come up, boom, delivers the blow, springs, and then number 8, you're going to see it on the backside on the next play here, Tyler Robinson. You're going to see 8 come up right there and deliver another shot. Great blocking downfield by the Shamrocks, and that's one of the things that they're going to work on in practice, the Patriots. You got to get your head on the swivel when a returner comes back across your face. Get your head on the swivel.
Wide open, Jones. No, that's Varanek, excuse me. Clayton Varanek, the sophomore, picks up 21 yards. Varanek now 4 catches and 72 yards receiving.
Varanek is just, he's going to work that seam on top of the linebackers in front of the safeties, and they find it right in front of the defensive backs of the Patriots, and Cole Stout and his receivers are just in sync right now offensively.
E.J. Williams. That's his first carry. It's a short gain and some great field position on average for Dublin Coffman. Midfield has been the average starting point for each series.
Yeah, in the last drive they started, their touchdown drive, it came off a special teams play where they started the drive on the opponent's 20-yard line. So it's not only the defensive effort, but their special teams have had 2 big plays that led to points.
2nd down and 7. Stout still out there. And this is going to be a 1st down for Connor Lucas. And it'll be marked at the 11-yard line. Gain of 19.
Stout is really seeing, we talked about a little bit of rust in us first. He's totally shook it off because he is really in a rhythm right now. He is getting the ball, quickly getting his feet set, and there is no hesitation. He is quickly getting rid of it.
Telly grew up around the game. He's got an air about him out there. His dad, Cliff, like we talked about, an NFL quarterback at one time.
Older brother at Louisville, Zach.
Give it to Williams on the end around. And he makes his way toward the corner. And he is going to be stopped short of the end zone. gain of 10. Williams, arguably the Shamrocks' most explosive receiver. We haven't seen a lot of him, though, in this game.
Yeah, E.J. Williams, he's a senior, and I like the play selection. We haven't seen that play yet today, but you'll see that from an option team, an Air Force or a Navy or Georgia Tech. They bring the receiver in motion so he's at full speed when the quarterback hands him the ball, and that puts your defense at a disadvantage. When you got a speedy wide receiver at full tilt, grabbing the football or getting the football 2 yards from the line of scrimmage, you can see it puts a lot of pressure on your linebackers trying to fill.
Dublin Coffman, high school about 15 minutes from Ohio Stadium, so they've got a good crowd here, and Shamrocks fans have been given quite a treat here. Mark Crabtree must be proud of the way his team has played. They lead 35-0 with 5:16 to go here in the third quarter, and they are knocking on the door again. They're looking to figure out where they're going to spot this football and whether it's going to be goal to go. The total yards there, 310 for Dublin Coffman. I say it's just a little short, so second down and inches for Dublin Coffman. For that man, it's been a long day. Head coach Steve Hale. Stout, the handoff to the end zone. Ezra Kim, but there are penalty flags down.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
It's the second time today that a touchdown's been taken back.
You know, Dublin Coffman's look very sharp today, but one thing that Coach Crabtree is going to want to work on this week is when they've gotten inside the red zone, they've gotten very sloppy. They've been able to overcome by still scoring, but you get in a tighter game, you can't have that happen.
Fifth penalty today against DC. Stout lobs it toward the end zone, and it's caught by Connor Lucas, but out of bounds. So incomplete.
A very good throw, just let him a little bit out of bounds. A nice job by the receiver going up and getting it, just not enough field. They wish they were in Canada right now, huh? A little bit bigger end zone.
Yeah, right. So now third down and 11.
Don't be surprised. Ezra Kim, number 3, is the slot receiver on the left side. Don't be surprised if it's trying to get him the football in space here.
Stout again, plenty of time. Again to the end zone, and he had a man, but he overshot his tight end Colton Caldwell. And now it'll be likely a field goal attempt for Dublin Coffman. And we haven't talked too much about Kyle Clinton, the field goal kicker. There he is, number 39. He is a senior. He won this game last year. The final was 10-7. It came down to a field goal attempt with 1 minute and 9 seconds to go, and Clinton banged it right through.
A little bit less pressure on him today, though.
No doubt about it, at least right now. His attempt from 28 yards. Good. Everything going the way of the Shamrock. The luck of the Irish, you might say. 38-0 now as Dublin Coffman has tacked on a field goal with about 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bill Conley, former Ohio State recruiting coordinator, now works for ESPN as a scouting expert, a high school football expert at ESPN Scouts Inc. He's been down on the sidelines today. And Bill, the hitting has been intense at times, sometimes one-sided, but you're right down there on the field. What have you been able to see?
You're exactly right. The game started off as a great defensive battle for both teams. As a matter of fact, until the sudden change, the interception by Bueller, it was pretty well heads-up defensive ball game. But now the Shamrocks have really taken over. But there's a lot of hard pad cracking down here on the sideline by both teams. And Olentangy still trying to hang in there. But I'll tell you what, Cole Stout is really taking charge of the football game.
Here's some of that hitting, Bill, that we've been talking about. Just intense pressure on Zach Michael. And we talked about his ability as a baseball player. He's probably wishing that the baseball season was still going about now, because they have been relentless at times.
Davis, number 87. Marcus Davis, number 87, is also Deron Carter's cousin. But what has happened is that Dublin's been able to shut down that quick screen, and really the linebackers been playing phenomenal.
First down at 10 for Michael. As Olentangy Liberty would love to get on the board. This is Joel Murphy out over the 30-yard line. Down at the 32, Jimmy Happ knocks him down after an 8-yard gain.
Hey, Coach, you know, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks in the scouting war room, and I've really been impressed by Dublin Coffman quarterback Cole Stout. He's got a wonderful frame. I think once he's settled in, he's shown good decision making. What's your take on him and his projection to the next level?
Well, exactly right. I've really known Cole for a long time, and his dad Cliff very well. And believe me, not only did the Dublin staff work with him well, but I'll tell you what, Cliff Stout can still throw the ball through a wall. I'm not kidding. And he has a great spiral, great touch on the ball. And he's been really especially effective after that first quarter, hitting the out patterns, also throwing across in between him, in front of him. I think he's going to do nothing to get better, because he's still got another year in front of him after this season.
Is he like his dad?
Yeah, he really is tall, throws over the top. He doesn't have the velocity, obviously, that Cliff does, and Cliff still can throw the ball hard. But I'll tell you what, he very much resembles the way Cliff Stout throws the football.
Hey, since you're down on the sideline, you probably got better access than we do, since we can't leave. We're kind of tethered up here. See if you can round Cliff up.
I can do that.
And send him up here to the booth. We'd love to talk to him and pick his brain a little bit.
We'll do that.
All right. Bill Connolly from ESPN Scouts Inc. He is one of the architects of the ESPN U150, along with you, Craig Hobart. And yeah, I got to think that when you four guys put that together, you know, it's hard work, but you had a lot of fun, too. Some good personalities there. Billy and Tom Lugan.
We were stuck in that room for hours upon hours on a couple of days. And I said, luckily, we all get along, because there's a lot of jokes being made, and we get after each other. We have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, how hard is it to sit in a room and watch football with your buddies? Not exactly the worst assignment in the world.
You're living the dream, Craig. You are living the dream. There's the kick. Connor Veers to bring this one back. Actually, this is Moreland. He got a block from Veers, and it springs him to the 40 of Olentangy Liberty. Down at the 32, and again, the kicker had to make the stop. And, man, the Rocks continue to have good field position, John.
Yeah, Patrick Moreland, that's the second huge special teams play that we've seen out of him. There appears to be a breakdown in coverage on the punt unit for the second consecutive time for the Patriots.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with their punt return. They're doing a nice job. Some of it is on Olentangy Liberty with their coverage, but Dublin Coffman is doing a very nice job of getting hats on guys, being very assignment sound there blocking. We saw it a while ago with the crackback blocks. I mean, they've been really sound in their punt return.
First and 10 for Cole Stout and the Shamrocks. Kenny Kristen. It's the carry. First year as a varsity player. All right, let's take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
You know, Will Cheeseman really hasn't had an opportunity to touch the ball. Really, his biggest contribution has been as a punter so far. Zach Michaels really put up, great effort, but he has been under distress all day long and really hasn't had a chance to get anything going, because he doesn't have a run game to aid him. For Dublin Coffman, Cole Stout, we've been talking about him all game. He's looked very sharp, and Sean Jones has become best friends with the end zone, showing the ability not only to run with the ball, but also to catch it.
Keep it on the ground. It's Kristen again. One thing about Stout, what they're saying about Cole, he's bigger than Zach was as a junior. He's 6'3", 184 pounds, and he's going to fill out even more.
As a college coach, you look at his frame and you get really excited, because look at the reach he's got, the long limbs. If you get that kid in the weight room, you could really start to develop him and improve his arm strength a little bit.
He rolls out to the right. He's going to keep it here. Nice little hip move there as he shakes a potential tackler, and he's run out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Ciccarella made the tackle, but some fancy footwork there. 23 yards on this pickup.
Yeah, that's certainly not his forte, but it's nice to see that once he tucks the ball, he's able to make some plays. I don't think he's a type of quarterback that you want to be running the ball a lot of times, but it's nice to know that if a play breaks down, or if you see something and you're play calling, that he can go out there, shake his hips a little bit, make somebody move, and pick up some positive yards.
A little hip swivel fooled Matt Casey. Now swinging it around to the other side. And this is going to be a touchdown for the Shamrocks as Patrick Moreland takes it in for yet another score for Dublin Coffman. 6-yard touchdown run for Moreland.
And that's the play they've been using with E.J. Williams.
Yep, you're just bringing the wide receiver across the formation in motion. You want to get the football to him at full speed, and they do that there. And Moreland just extends the play, and once he finds that crease, he gets north and south, sticks it in the end zone for another score. I love that play, especially when you can spread that defense. When you have athletic receivers, it really puts a lot of pressure on your backers and your corners.
6th straight drive with a score for Dublin Coffman. And it's 45-0. Hey, you ready for the college football season to start? You better be. It's getting close here. Next week, Monday and Tuesday afternoon, catch the Coaches Spotlight Special. We're going to get the access to coaches' press conferences from across the country. It's brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPNU HD Monday and Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Here again is that top 10. Florida, Texas, and Oklahoma 1, 2, and 3. And those are the 3 teams that they think have the best shot at a national championship right now. What do you think, Jim?
Well, number 2 and 3, you recognize I live in Dallas, right? And I got extra room. There's a game that happens in October. You might want to circle that one. If you're
going to give me tickets?
I'd love to get you tickets. We got. Did you see that game last year? Oklahoma, Texas?
Yes.
Epic. That's one of those games.
ESPN Classic, an instant classic.
I know it. That was an unbelievable ball game.
And the Heisman Trophy, Colt McCoy, Sam Bradford, Texas and Oklahoma respectively, they're going to be up for it again. And Tim Tebow. So it's the same 3 guys that are the front runner for that award too. Joel Murphy on this return across the 10. And he's going to be across the 30 to the 32 as we take a look at the top recruiting classes. And really, it shouldn't surprise anybody that Florida, Texas, and Oklahoma also in this top 10.
Often they mirror each other. Right. If you're going to be one of those teams consistently competing for a national title, you're going to recruit pretty well on year-round. Urban Meyer there at the top. He's got his team atop both polls, and he's really on fire recruiting this year. I mean, he's brought in some great talent in his secondary. He's finally got maybe that big back that Florida fans have been looking for, and Mac Brown out of Georgia that could be the game breaker in the backfield.
Murphy ahead again for a gain of 2.
Since Nick Saban's landed at Alabama, he's really elevated their recruiting too. You see them there at the top.
The SEC again, arguably the toughest conference, but boy, the Big 12 has done some great things in the last 10 years.
Oh, it's been unbelievable what has transpired in the Big 12 South. You have Texas, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech. And keep an eye on Oklahoma State. I don't think they're gonna. I think they could jump up and pop either Texas or Oklahoma, but they have Zach Robinson, Des Bryant, who is an ESPNU player. Zach Robinson, Kendall Hunter, they've got a lot. They only leave the state of Oklahoma twice the whole season. So Texas, Oklahoma State, all in the Big 12 South.
I think you got to give a little bit of credit. I don't think they're going to. I think this might be a team that comes up and snake bites one of those teams ahead of them. That's Baylor. Art Briles done a wonderful job there. He's got a dynamic quarterback in Robert Griffin. Those other teams, Texas, Oklahoma, Tech, they need to be worried about that team if they're on the schedule.
And I guess that's what's impressed me most about the Big 12. From top to bottom now, it's just such a strong league. We've got another quarter of play here in Columbus. It's all Dublin Coffman. 12 minutes to go. It's been quite a performance today for the Dublin Coffman Shamrocks. There is Sean Jones. He's got 4 touchdowns today. And look at the yards by quarter. Olentangy Liberty didn't start out too bad offensively, but boy, they've been shut down since the first. And Zach Michael is brought down again. Jake Bueller this time, the brother of Brett. And he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but the pressure just continues. And now it's a punting situation again for the Patriots.
3 yards. The whole offense at 3 yards and a quarter is pretty impressive. Dublin Coffman allowed only 74 points last year. That's pretty stingy, and it looks like this defense hasn't lost its bite at all because they're shutting them out through 3 quarters and pretty much almost just shutting them down.
Blocked. Tyler Robinson with the block. Scooped up by Jimmy Happ for the touchdown.
They are clicking on all cylinders right now. Offense, defense, special teams on his punt. Coach Crabtree's got to be feeling good.
Happ scooped it up and took it in from 7 yards out.
Yeah, Tyler Robinson is going to come from the left side of the screen. Unblocked, just lays out. Blocks the kick, and the number 2, Jimmy Happ, standing right there. His buddy just picks the ball up in for the score. What a huge special teams play. Not so much because the game is still in question, but that's something they want to continue to work on and get more confident with. That's the second play on special teams for that combination. Tyler Robinson earlier in the ball game and Jimmy Happ both got huge blocks on the punt return as well.
Here's another look at the block, Craig.
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the things that Olentangy Liberty is they put those big guys back there as personal protectors. The one on the right doesn't even see him come through. And there's a certain philosophy with that. If you're going to put those big guys back there, they have a tough time adjusting.
$51-0, Dublin Coffman. And the point after is still pending here as Dublin Coffman called a quick timeout to get the right personnel out on the field with 11:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. John and Craig, this has been quite a dominating performance since about the end of the 1st quarter on.
Yeah, Dublin Coffman's really, you know, found their stride. Not only offensively, Cole really settled in and has been sharp, but defensively, they've really shut him down. And now special teams is clicking on returns, blocks, even just blocking on punt. I mean, Dave really looks sharp in all areas today.
And Clinton with the extra point, and it's good. And it's now 52-0. Cliff Stout made his way up to the booth, so we really have to say thank you to Bill Conley, who's standing at the back of the press box. He was our guy to come find you, and we appreciate you coming up. And so far, so good for Dublin Coffman and your boy. They have really played well today.
Well, they have. I think they had some butterflies possibly in the 1st quarter coming out here in this stadium on this field, and once they got past that, had a few good plays, and just started playing football, things have really rolled for them.
How is Cole like you as a player?
I think he likes to tuck it and run every once in a while. He's got and he doesn't really head for the sidelines. He wants to make sure he bumps into something at the end of the run. But he's just he gets into the game. He's a little more emotional than Zach was. Zach was kind of a, you know, always calm, kind of a flatliner out there. But Cole's got a little more fire like I had.
Cliff, he's heading into his 2nd year, first game of his 2nd year as a starter. What have you seen from him in his first game, in his development from the sophomore start to now his junior year?
Well, just a little more patience, and he knows the passing game a little bit better. He's hit a couple hot routes today. Last year, they kind of protected him. We didn't throw the ball a whole lot. It was pretty much just a running game. And this year, you know, we're more of a 50-50 split.
Well, he's not here on the special teams unit. Now, did you ever play special teams?
Oh, God, no. Coaches are smarter than that.
Here's the return, and Olentangy Liberty will go on offense here. Let's take a look at what Cole has done. 13 of 20, 169 and a touchdown. Here's that running you were talking about. He likes contact.
He does. He's kind of a Tim Tebow-like. When he takes off running, he wants to make sure he bumps into something hard at the end of it.
Cliff, talk about the development of Cole. What coming into this season, what were your goals and what were his goals in terms of the things you wanted to work on or things that you thought he needed to get better at?
Well, just what I was just talking about, reading the coverages better and being able to come out and really lead the team and run our whole offensive package. Coach Crabtree's got a tremendous offense, and the playbook's thick. They have a lot of different options. I just wanted him to have a better grasp of that, and he's studied hard, and shows that he's at least off to a good start.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Cole.
The Dublin Coffman Shamrocks, the expectations as a team this year. I know, as a dad, you're concerned with what your son is doing, but you're a big fan of this team right now, and what do you think the Shamrocks can do this year?
Well, if they keep coming together and just build off of each game, they've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of team speed, and I think you've seen on special teams and defense, we've got guys that'll come up and hit you. And I think obviously playoffs are the goal, but they've got a tough schedule. They're just going to have to keep getting better every week and keep expanding the offense and just getting more and more aggressive on defense. And one thing I want to say, too, it's a big thing for the team today. Kyle Clinton, our kicker, you guys may have mentioned that his mom passed away during the year, and it's meant a lot to these guys last week. And Kyle is a team leader, and he showed that by being at practice the very next day. And they've rallied around him today, and I think they've kind of dedicated this game to him. He means a lot to this football team.
2nd and 7 here for Olentangy Liberty. It's Jeff Kemper. Straight in, he's short of the first down, but he picks up about 5 on that carry.
Cliff, a lot of times when I think people off the field, they assume, hey, a young man's got a father who played in the NFL. He'd be picking his brain. Is Cole like that? Are you just dad, or does he come to you for advice? Is he looking to kind of help you critique his game?
We talk a lot, and I work with him on the physical aspects of it, but really I don't get involved with. I'll say, hey, what'd you see here? What'd you see there? But it's not like I pull him into a dark room and make him watch film. Coach Crabtree and the staff do a great job of that, and he also gets a lot of help and support from his brother Zach, who fortunately was able to come here today and see him play.
Michael. Trouble there on the snap. Actually, that's Scott Mackey into the game now. It's a loss of 5, and it's going to be a punting situation again for Olentangy Liberty. We're talking with Cliff Stout, the father of Cole, quarterback for the Shamrocks, and played a long time in the NFL. You were with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a good share of your NFL time, and you got to see one of the all-time greats up close and personal in Terry Bradshaw. Was you 1 and 2 there at Pittsburgh for quite a while?
Yeah, it was quite an experience. Terry was a great person to learn from, and Terry was just money in the big games, and that was fun. It was great for me to sit back and learn that and get my opportunity for 1 year there in Pittsburgh when Terry missed because of an injury. But then thinking he was coming back, I went off to another league, and fortunately a bunch of other teams. But it was great being part of that football team and learning from Terry.
Here's Cole's ESPN Rise profile. Now you went to Youngstown State, Zach at Louisville. I think Cole's gonna head off to. I know you really don't want to tell us, but
I don't know.
Sure be fun if you told us.
He got an early offer from Cincinnati, and there's a lot of other schools that like what he does, and he's the type of kid. He's going to go where he thinks he should go, and he'll make up his own mind. He's his own guy, and it is nice, I know, playing in the Big East to have Zach so close that. He has about 9-10 games a year within 3 hours of here, so that's special. So, but Cole will make up his own mind, and I just hope he stays healthy and keeps improving.
Yeah.
Cliff, he's got the one offer. You'd imagine with his tools that offer list is going to grow. What has he been able to learn from the recruiting process from Zach and as he starts to move forward?
Well, one thing that's totally different about his process, or recruiting process, is Zach got injured his junior year, and going into senior year was totally unknown. So, by that point, the big teams have their major recruits done, and fortunately there's some opportunities for Zach. But because of the flurry of quarterbacks we've had here over the years, people expect good development out of these quarterbacks. They watch this program, and now Cole, having played as a sophomore, I don't think he's going to have to travel the country going to camps and combines. The attention's already coming to him.
How big with that frame do you think he can get? I mean, he's got a long frame. He can put on a lot of size.
Yeah, I had a frame like that, and I put on a lot of size since then too. So, I'd like to if he keeps lifting, by the time he goes off to college, maybe be in the 215, 220 range. Zach's 6'5", about 225 now, and he's been out of high school a year and a half. So I think Cole may be a little bigger physically. Maybe not. He may not get as tall as Zach, but I think from muscular, his structure he'll be a little bit bigger than Zach.
Cliff, it was a pleasure to meet you. And it's been fun watching your son today in the Dublin Coffman Shamrocks.
Well, this team is fun to watch. It's a great bunch of kids, and Coach Crabtree does a great job. And obviously, I'm thrilled. This is more fun than having played, watching my boys play. It's really special. It's special from up here. Our press box wasn't as high at Youngstown State. It was like in the 8th row of the bleachers.
We're enjoying it, too. It's enough room in here to play racquetball.
Yeah.
Cliff Stout, father of Cole, and we appreciate you making your way up here. We thank Bill Connolly, too, for finding you.
Well, thanks for having me up. It's been great.
6:43 to go in this football game. 52-0 Dublin Coffman. They punted away. And Olentangy Liberty still with some time on the clock to maybe prevent this shutout. They're going to go on offense when we come back. The Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series is presented by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And in part by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And Lifeline, #1 in identity theft protection. There's High Street here in Columbus. A lot of restaurants and bars on this street. A lot of activity there last night. Saturday night. Dublin Coffman leading 52-0 with 6.5 minutes to go. Olentangy Liberty. The quarterback Scott Mackey. He's a senior. He's under center now as Matt Ozelinski gets the handoff. This is the 13th Liberty drive. They've had a total of 88 yards today. This Dublin Coffman defense has been excellent. You said earlier the defense allowed only 74 points last year, a school record. And if they're already this sharp in game 1, who knows how good they can be as the season wears on.
Yeah, I've just been real impressed by the athleticism and the physical nature of this defense. 15, John Warren, you saw him come out and made a big hit from the safety position. They've got 3 very active linebackers. And look at those special teams play with Jimmy Hatt, Tyler Robinson coming on the crackback blocks, but Brett Bueller and Kyle Frazier and Tyler Robinson, that trio of linebackers, all seniors, they're going to have huge years on top. And the other thing that I noticed, Clay, is because they're all seniors, they're so experienced, they just get locked into an offense. It took them 2 series as a group to say, okay, we've seen everything we're going to see. Let's go blow it up. And they've been successful at it all day.
Mackey connects. As Matt Ozelinski out of the backfield makes the catch, he's down at the 41, a gain of 18. The few completions today for Patriots quarterbacks. David Bassett in on the tackle. As the clock continues to roll here, just over 5 minutes to go. There's Ozelinski, member of the Patriots lacrosse team. Boy, we've seen that a lot, Craig.
Yeah, it seems lacrosse is one of those sports where it seems very regional. There's some parts of the country where lacrosse is big.
That ball comes loose. And still no call on who's got this. David Bassett appears to have knocked it out for Dublin Coffman, and the Shamrocks have it. Max Smith, number 10, with the recovery, and even the second and third string guys are making it happen for the Rocks.
This defense is showing nice depth. I mean, this is a strong unit. You think about it too, that they're pretty new up front, all new starters. Nice job stripping the ball.
Max Smith, a 5'11", 190-pound senior weak side linebacker. Even their second string guys, John, are seniors.
Yeah, they are. And, as a second teamer, you want to get in there and you want to play and show what you can do and try to compete for some time. And I think Max Smith just improved his case there.
Probably have to go to running back for the touchdowns, but
There you go.
But we can go Cole. I mean, he is the quarterback. Quarterbacks always get the benefit of the doubt.
The pass was completed to number 87, Danny Stuckey.
Second down and 13.
It's going to bring up second down.
And got a new quarterback in there for the Shamrocks. Mitch Riker is running the show now. Max Smith in on the carry.
Number 23, Ryan
Actually, it's Ryan Harness.
Was a fumble.
And again, the ball came loose.
The Patriots recover.
And the Patriots have it now. Something's getting a little sloppy here late in this game. 52-0. $52-0, 4:07 to go. Here's our player of the game, brought to you by Burger King. Cole Stout, we talked to his dad, Cliff, moments ago. And Cliff, guys, was impressed with his running ability. Reminded him of him in the old days. I shouldn't say old days. I don't want to offend the guy. He's a lot bigger than I am. But there's your king of the game. Cole Stout. Still undeclared. Already has an offer.
Yeah, for Cincinnati, you know. And I'm sure that offer list is going to grow quite a bit between his junior year and his senior year.
His backup quarterback, Colton Caldwell, who's also tight end. We've seen him catch some passes
Dead ball.
Today.
False start. Offense.
But right now, Max Smith is in there.
Still remains first down.
At quarterback. Scott Mackey now for Olentangy Liberty takes the snap and another penalty flag.
Come on, 58. Dead ball. False start. Offense.
Here's some of the schools that have the best recruiting classes, according to you guys at ESPN Scout Sync. Florida, 16 verbal commits.
Yeah, they have the #1 and #2 rated safety in the country. DeMar Dorsey is #2. And I talked about Florida a little bit before it go. Maybe what the key to this class is running back Mac Brown. People have wondered why Urban Meyer hasn't been able to get that big time back. Mac Brown could be it.
Another big hit. Chris Hawkins is just popped by John Sharp, a backup corner. And Dublin Coffman gets the football back again. Texas is #2. What do they have?
Well, you know, Mac Brown, he's got the Lone Star State really locked down. Texas A&M is really doing a better job in recruiting, but Texas puts together their class very strong. One of the keys to that class for me is they have the #1 and #2 rated defensive tackles in the nation. Taylor Bible from the Dallas area, and then Ashton Dorsey. These are two defensive tackles who have big playability. They're very quick off the ball. They could be disruptive. So those two guys really kind of characterize the class for me. A lot of good frontline help past those guys. So Will Muschamp's got some nice toys to play with coming in.
And in Athens, the Bulldogs have 18 verbal commits. Alec Ogletree is their top commitment. He's a safety, ranked #5 on your ESPNU 150.
Yeah, he's a nice in-state pickup out of Newman High School. What really, to me, stands about that class is the defensive line pickups they've made. They've picked up defensive end TJ Stripling, defensive tackle Garrison Smith, BJ Butler, who's a high school quarterback who projects the defense, Brandon Burrow, Jalen Fields, and Dexter Morant. They've got a lot of pieces there that they could put at defensive end. They could slide some of those guys down to defensive tackle. Possibly they could fit as an outside linebacker, but really they've strengthened their front seven in this class with a lot of very good players.
Number 42,
Alabama.
Walter, the ball carrier.
Nick Saban has 20 verbal commits. We should remind people the difference between a verbal commit and a non-verbal.
Yeah, a verbal commit is basically, Clay, these prospects are telling that school, DeMarcus Miller, number 2 rated quarterback in the country, what he has basically done, he's gone to Nick Saban and said, I accept your scholarship offer. When signing day comes around, the first Wednesday in February, I will sign a letter of intent with your school. So he's a verbal commitment, but nothing is binding right now. If DeMarcus Miller, for example, wanted to change his mind, he could do that and commit to another school or sign with another school on signing day. None of this is binding. These are just the word of the player to the school saying, I accept your scholarship, and when the time comes, I will sign that letter of intent to play for your school. Now, up there, we're looking at Penn State. Joe Pa, he may be getting up there, but his staff is really wonderful. Larry Johnson Sr., I mean, they do a wonderful job of recruiting. He's really keeping that program very relevant towards the top of the Big Ten. So Joe Pa is still getting it done. Dakota Royer, this kid is a blue-collar player, in-state recruit. I love this kid. When he plays, he's either running, screaming downfield on offense, catching go routes, or on defense, he is screaming off the edge, getting sacks. I really think he could be an outside linebacker, defensive end tweener for Penn State.
And another turnover down on the field as Olentangy Liberty recovers a fumble.
Yeah, the story with LSU, we saw Russell Shepard at halftime. They're still continuing to recruit very well. We see Justin Hunter, number 5 wide receiver. They've actually gone up into Virginia to get him. I think that he's one of the sleepers. A lot of people aren't talking about this guy at a national level. He's got great size, 6'4", 172 pounds. Reminds us a little bit of A.J. Green in his build and his ability. I think he's a guy to watch out for. They also have Mike Davis, the number 10 wide receiver, and tight end Richard Dixon. He's coming towards the end of his LSU career. They're bringing in Under Armour All-American Travis Dixon, his younger brother, and he'll be a wonderful tight end, really great, versatile player, H-back type. So they've really stocked the cabinet well there.
Oklahoma Sooners, 19 verbal commits. They have 4 ESPNU 150 athletes. And Blake Bell leads that list. He is a quarterback, number 3. You said quarterbacks were a little weak this year, but Bell pretty high on your list.
Yeah, what Blake Bell presents is upside. The Sam Bradford era is coming to an end. They have Landry Jones, who is from New Mexico. They signed him 2 classes ago. Blake Bell is out of Kansas. Kansas football is all that strong, and plus he was limited as a junior, played some wide receiver, so he's really just starting to grow into the quarterback position. But this young man has a wonderful build. He's got a strong arm. Once he keeps developing, gets more experience at the quarterback position, he has got tremendous upside and is likely the quarterback of the future for the Sooners.
Last year, USC landed your number 1 guy on the ESPNU 150, and how'd they do this year?
Yeah, the class is still coming along. Sometimes USC is one of those classes that will build as the year goes. USC is always on a national level in on most of the top recruits. We talked about Jackson Jeffcoat. So a lot of their class will come together down the stretch as some of those top national prospects hold out more towards signing day. You see Robert Woods, number 3 rated wide receiver. They just added him about a week ago. He just gave his verbal commitment. He's a big play wide receiver. He's got the ability to stretch the field. He's physical, so once again, Pete Carroll, every year they just reload, and once again, it's coming together a little bit slower than some of the classes like Florida ahead of them, but USC will be amongst the mix of top classes when signing day comes along.
Ball is loose again at the 41-yard line. Final 12 seconds up there. Last year, USC got the number 1 guy. It was Matt Barkley, and we're going to be talking a lot about that situation at USC in our next game because Orange Lutheran plays in that tough Trinity League, which produced Matt Barkley.
And Orange Lutheran alum Aaron Corp, who was in the mix fighting for that starting position with Matt Barkley. So obviously a lot of storylines tying in right there. They not only played in the same league together, but Orange Lutheran, Aaron Corp's alma mater. So definitely we've got to tune in to see the Orange Lutheran team and see what the future holds for them as far as prospects.
Orange Lutheran taking on Pickerington Central in our second game here, our final game of the weekend in the Kirk Herbstreit Varsity Football Series. Yeah, tough break for Aaron Corp, and it's kind of a pun. He had some leg problems and he's been injured.
I doubt that competition's over though yet. I'm sure USC, they're always competing, so we'll just have to see how Matt Barkley handles it.
And it's going to be the final play of the game. 52-0, Dublin Coffman, John. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, dominant performance, and I think this is exactly what Mark Crabtree wanted out of his bunch. They were dominant up front. We saw their skill, and that's a terrific way to kick off the high school football season if you're Coffman.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For John Berger, Craig Hobbert, and our entire crew, I'm Clay Mathick. So long from Columbus for now. We're back for our second game in moments.